So Lens is a database application that incorporates properties, vehicles, police reports, arrests, citations, crash reports, to which agencies in Harris County can then go to one place and search and get back all the necessary information that they need for an investigation or to finish up a report. Maybe they forgot a person's phone number and see if they've been in the system before.
The Lens project actually came about in response to Deputy Goforth's assassination. During the time of response, when we got the officer down call for Deputy Goforth, we had several different agencies and a large number of deputies respond to that incident. And those number of deputies and those number of agencies, to include federal agencies, were trying to find one person with one enterprise solution, which was RMS at the time. And so that many people trying to find a single source of information all at one time presented a very unique technical challenge for us. And so the Lens project at that point really came to fruition, was to try to bring together a unified technical solution for our agencies to find whatever they needed to find in any type of investigation relatively quickly. So the improvement that Lens brought as a technical solution was it brings together all resources that Harris County agencies have. The benefit that Lens brings is that it brings these resources onto a single searchable page for the users to have access to. So, for example, if I was looking for a John Doe, I could simply type in John Doe into Lens, and what Lens would do is it would bring me back incident reports, citations, dispatch information, real property information. It would bring all of this back onto a single page, and it allows the investigator the opportunity to select which pieces of information are the most pertinent at that time. The extra benefit that Lens brings is that I can have multiple people search that single source of information at the same time and it not cause the same type of technical problems that we saw in response to Deputy Goforth.
Some of the challenges were getting everything together as far as what was important to investigations. So yes, police reports and citations were important, but when it came down to it is, what about phone numbers? You have a 911, or has someone called from this phone number before, and can they lead us to someone else? Another thing that was important and kind of a challenge was a lot of times we get partial license plates. So being able to search a database using special characters to get a license plate and possible matches to robbery suspects, murder suspects.
At the time, investigators were stuck with different data warehouse solutions, such as links provided by the DOJ and other types of data warehouses. So investigators at the time had to go to multiple sources of information just to weigh which one was the most important. And Lens overcame all of that.
My experience as far as with Harris County Lens has been awesome. Nothing but good testimonial, really. A few years ago when we switched over to Superion, it was really the bridge of a learning curve that we had switching to the new system, because what we couldn't search on the new system, Lens was able to help us figure out case numbers and involvements, subject searches, things like that. I realized how many people actually use Lens as well in conjunction with the license plate reader program. They kind of work similarly, especially when it comes to license plates and wildcard searches and things like that. But always good feedback, especially from investigators. I know a lot more patrolmen are using it as well. One of the examples that I've set aside to discuss with you guys as far as our successes with it was a catalytic converter theft case where Fort Bend County ISD Police Department reached out to us and said, hey, we got a video of the suspect vehicle that's driving around and cutting catalytic converters off of our teachers' cars and they're in the school parking lot. can you help us out? From that video, it was a decent video, but you just couldn't really make out all the characters on the license plate. And we made out a couple just by zooming in and playing with the image just a little bit, and we made out a couple characters. From that, we were able to do a wildcard search in Lens, and with the first characters being alpha characters, it was a Texas license plate, and then you had 4 numeric characters. From there, with the characters that we did know, we were able to get it down to about 100 different plates that matched. We were able to filter down from that based on the image. We knew that it was the make and model and roughly the year range. From there, we were able to get 13 results, which is much more manageable to search based on what we initially knew. So from there, we ran each of those 13 matching plates, possible plates, in the license plate reader programs to look at the vehicle. And so what we did here was, that was the original image at the top that we got from the surveillance camera, and then this is actually from the license plate reader that was scanned somewhere else. But it was one of the 13 that we had, and it looked to be a match. So this was definitely going to be a possible lead. So from that, with the wheel covers missing and vehicle description matching, we were able to run the plate, see who it was registered to. When we did, it was registered to this guy here, who's out on bond, felony bond, for catalytic converter thefts, same crime. We did also receive information that there was actually 2 suspects in the vehicle. Both matched the description. So this is definitely a lead. It's not saying this is who your guy is. This is definitely a lead for the investigators to follow up on. And this was definitely a win because this same vehicle was actually hitting HPD's jurisdiction and Sugar Land PD as well.
So the next steps for Lens is we want to get other agencies outside of Harris County, meaning outside our constables, sheriff's office, DA's office, fire marshals, and bring them on board, because a lot of the persons that we're investigating and looking for don't just stay in Harris County. They go to cities such as Baytown, Pearland, Tomball, and so everyone having that same database at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're not going to have to wait to find out or wake an investigator up to get information. It'll be readily available.
Next steps is to do that with outlying agencies, with Houston Police Department potentially, with other police departments that have a need for not only our data, but we also have a need for theirs. What we learn as investigators, as police officers, that criminals tend to travel. They don't just stay in one spot. And so if we're able to track activity, if we're able to let our neighbors know what's going on with us and vice versa, we have an opportunity of actually protecting not just Harris County, but the outliers of Harris County, and then with the ultimate ambitious goal of maybe possibly Texas, we can help out each other as Texans.